of like substance abuse and like underage substance abuse in the Short Sands area in
Okay.
the summer months.
So tell me, what this is for, like what class this is for.
Preparation for citizenship.
It's our CAP project.
So even though you guys are done on Thursday, you guys are cranking this sucker out?
Yeah, because technically, like, we still have 2 weeks for this class, which is weird.
Okay. So tell me how you guys decided you wanted to raise awareness. Tell me what led to it.
Well, at least for me, I just remember always going to Short Sands when I was younger, going in like what's the park there?
Ellis Park area, yeah.
Yeah, just always like with my family, just going down there, having fun, and like what I noticed in recent years is just that it's just kind of been taken over. Like a lot of just cars parked there for hours on end, and just kind of causing a disturbance in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Loud music, just like I would say, there's just like a more one-on-one interactions with each other that end negatively, and then just and overall just a substance issue that the police is becoming more aware of, which is good. But unfortunately, Officer Dara was telling us that they had to either cut the entire beach officer staff in total, or they're just reducing because of a lack of staff that is available in the summer months.
So workforce issues for sure. So enforcement's tough.
Yeah.
And what are you guys noticing? Like, is it vaping, or have you like vaping, drinking? What are you seeing?
Yeah.
All of it.
From what we've seen, firsthand, it's nicotine and just
Probably
drug
marijuana.
use. Yeah.
Because if vaping, we don't know if it's nicotine or
Yeah,
weed or what
exactly.
it is. Yeah. So what are your ideas? What are your thoughts? And I'll save mine. But what are you guys thinking you'd like to do? Your goals?
Hopefully, with the lack of beach staff, there can be more overall surveillance from officers. Because with the lack of staff, they need to obviously survey that area more often. And also just getting more people aware of this issue. We've done surveys and asked like the public if they're aware of this, and most of them just said that they just try to avoid the Short Sands area altogether, which is a bummer.
How'd you guys survey? That's awesome that you surveyed. When did you do that?
We created a survey, and then before then, in I want to say it was early April, maybe late March.
Mm-hmm.
We just went to the beach and asked people questions.
So you did some surveys. Did you did some like written surveys for like peer groups, or did you just do one-on-one surveys?
I can show you our Google form that we made. So far, this is what it looks like. So it just asks, well, first we ask if you're 18 or older, so we don't need to have like a consent form.
Smart.
And then asking if they're like a York resident and if they're personally aware of this issue, and then if they've witnessed it, and
How many said yes? A chunk said witnessed it, some haven't. Okay.
yeah, and like as of right now, I think the biggest problem is just at least York citizens, they just avoid that area altogether because of tourism, and most of this issue comes from the tourists that come to York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's mainly not York residents.
State issue. And how about if you had to guess? You don't have to be specific, but if you had to guess how many people you guys got some feedback from between the Google and like one-on-one, what do you think?
I would say 8 to 12. Yeah, because we've gotten 9 from this reflection. Yeah, so probably closer to 12.
Mm-hmm.
That we've talked one-on-one with people, done some interviews.
So definitely, so your goals would be to increase surveillance in Ellis Park, and you want to increase awareness of the issue, right?
Yeah.
So, off the top of my head, I will tell you that our data shows among youth, not just in York, but across the country, the order of preference of substances is alcohol, then marijuana, then a distant third is prescription drugs, but not like misusing prescription drugs,
Right,
something
yeah.
that's not, for you, not prescribed to you. So I think in the vaping and marijuana issue, I think we've seen quite an increase as well. But overall, the good news is, just so you guys know, if you don't know, as far as our current data goes, as far as our youth go, 6th grade through seniors, most are not using. We're at a really good rate, I would say, of, still 25% is up there, but 70 to 75% are not using anything. So that's good.
Mhm.
The reason why I'm sharing that with you is people may be more motivated to, if they see something, say something, if they realize that most youth are trying to make healthy choices in the area as well. So if you want to increase awareness, more surveillance in Ellis Park, I think you could make a case for that. I think that's something that you might want to consider, either writing a letter to selectmen. Maybe they just did a voting day on Saturday, but that's something that you can talk about. I think from a student's perspective, if you had more students signing a letter saying, we'd really like to increase surveillance down at the beach because we know that there are people, our peers, who are just avoiding the area, or don't feel as comfortable as they once did down there, you might want to write a letter and have as many folks sign that as possible. And you could address that to the police department, because then maybe they, when they go through their budget process, can bring that forward. The other thought, I don't know what other things you guys are thinking about, but increasing awareness, even signage, having some laminated signs of some sort down there that say, if you see something, say something. If you see substance use, or, any dangerous behaviors, whatever, report to, and post that everywhere, that, believe it or not, that means that that is increasing awareness of the issue, so maybe some signage.
Yeah.
I can talk to the boss of our coalition, so I don't know if you guys know what I do now, so I do, I kind of hop the fence to prevention. I used to be here as a substance use counselor and school counselor for like 15 years. And now I work at the Choose to Be Healthy and Youth Resiliency Coalitions, which is a whole bunch of fancy words basically saying we're located at the hospital, we work in the Department of Community Health, and we're grant funded by the federal and state government to do substance use prevention, including mental health awareness for 12 to 24-year-olds in our area. So projects like this actually fall into what we do. We work with 9 towns in southern Maine. I could talk to my coalition director, and also we have a new tobacco prevention coordinator person who also does vaping, who was assigned to our area as well, and I can connect with her too. If that's something you guys want from me. If there's something else you're looking for from me, then let me know. What are you guys imagining? How can I be helpful to you?
Yeah, I think what we're looking for is just to get everybody as we possibly can to be aware of this issue. So yeah,
So-
I think that'd be very helpful. Yeah, I think we'll definitely do the signs in the short sands area, as well as we can just create like a QR code on the sign that can bring people to this Google form, which is great. But yeah.
So just to review your goals would be to increase awareness of the substance use issues down at the beach, and increase surveillance in the Ellis Park area. And from what I can tell though, 8 to 12 people, that's a good amount of people that you've sort of reached out to, but I'm gonna guess it would be awesome if you did more.
Yeah.
If you got, because right off the top of my head, I think people might say, well, if 8 to 12 people feel that way, it might not be as much of an issue as you think. But was Officer Darrow, might be good, were they able to give you any figures of anybody that they might have, like percentages or arrests or incidents, like any amount of incidents of substance use infractions down there? Because that might help make your case. Like if they say, yeah, you know, last summer we cited this many people, teens or adults with substance use related issues, that might help build the
Yeah.
case to increase awareness. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be my suggestion to you, is if you guys could ask Officer Darrow if he can get access to any data from just last summer even, or the last couple summers, about substance use related issues down there. You know, I remember a couple of years ago that, I don't know if you guys had heard about that woman who was domestic violence and she was killed.
Yeah.
And I believe substances had something to do with that as well. So anyway, I think that could just make your case. But I can connect with my coalition director and say what your concerns are and see if we might be able to assist you with coming up with verbiage, because it'd be, I think what you guys need to think about is, do you want to survey more people about it, or do you want to get people to be proactive in their own community? Like if you see something, say something. So on the posters, it could be, if you see something, say something, with a number or an anonymous hotline of some sort, which I believe they have. I think they have it, the police have. And then there could be a QR code looking to make a healthier choice that people could scan if they want help.
Yeah, I think,
To hook them up with the recovery center. So you'd have two purposes of this, like if you see something, say something, but also if you need assistance or if you're looking to make a healthier choice, here's a QR code for resources.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
That sounds, yeah.
So let me connect with, if you guys can just put your names and your emails, would email be okay?
Yeah,
Because York
email's
schools will
great.
work for a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I will connect, we have a staff meeting tomorrow, so I can connect with them and then get back in touch. Because I want you guys to pick something that's like doable, a doable chunk of work in the time that you have.
Yeah.
And so I think if you did nothing else besides increase awareness of the problem by putting up the posters, and then also having, first of all, we'd have to get the green light to put up the posters. So what I think you should do are two things. If you guys would connect with Officer Darrow to see if he has any stats on substance use related incidents in the last few years down at the beach, and ask the question, who would you guys need approval from to put the posters up?
Yeah.
I think those are your two questions to ask, and I will see if we can assist you with this. I believe the answer will be yes. And we might even have some grant funds to fund the posters
Perfect.
for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Sound good?
you.
Yeah.
All right, so why don't you